You know, I wanted to do channel updates back in October, but it was one of the many projects that got shelved for school. But what better way to unshelve this idea with the finishing of school? Put all the last work in on Monday, got the grades back Tuesday, and the confirmation that I'll quote unquote graduate. I spent Wednesday, which was yesterday, front logging submission files, and then I'm spending today's morning front logging all the videos I can before I start going back into the whole edit everything down process. I'm trying to get this done before I start today's streams, as well as get this video done. Now, going forward, I'm planning on trying to get a monthly update out for the main channel every month or so. We'll have it released in the middle of the month. But on Patreon, or if you're a Twitch sub, I'll always be publishing weekly updates on everything. I've been trying to maintain that since, I want to say December? No, December's now. I guess it would be October then. But, you know, when I can, again, even that would get pushed off because sometimes school would really pick up because it was hell. Those 5 years were hell. But regardless, what I'm going to spend this video talking about while we play the Siege of Jadotville footage from that large join top from like a Saturday or two ago is where the channel's going to go, what the original plan was, what the new plan is with COVID, and the schedule for how ops are going to be run, some of the projects I'm going to start taking off the shelves, including, you know, this one that we're talking about right now, and what I'm going to keep posting on the three channels and how all that's going to work, just to keep you guys in the loop of what's going on and how I want to take things forward. Because let's be honest, this whole Liru the Lance Corporal thing is a very niche thing that only has to do with Arma, and I now have to decide whether or not I want to try to take it beyond that because of where I am now, or keep it that way. But to explain the original plan of all of this stuff, I had a decent job lined up that wasn't the most paying job in the world, but it was designed to allow me to still work on the channel a lot compared to a 40-hour work week. Because if I do that, then this channel significantly diminishes. And I would rather take the job I was going to take, which was actually a little cool, at least in my field of expertise in that regard, and get paid under what, you know, other people doing it full time would get paid, and still work on the channel and basically just rely on all of that revenue to live. Unfortunately, since COVID started, that job kind of got taken away, I want to say 6 months ago. It was back in August, actually. So no, that's a little more recent than that. And I've been told that it should come back when COVID ends, but now I'm being told as of December, early December, by the way, that that might not be the case. So I don't know. That was kind of a, I doubt I'll ever see that opportunity again. But I'll keep looking. But COVID has kind of, you know, screwed everything up in that regard. So I've got no choice now but to try to take the channel full time, work on everything I can, and from there we'll see how things go. And it's not like I'm in a bad spot or anything. YouTube shot up a little bit, though I am noticing it's coming back down. I think my main channel and the side channel got unblacklisted. That was 2 years ago. I got bundled under military content. There was a algorithm change, and they just completely screwed up my channel, and that's why we've been in a lull for about 2 years. But again, if this is a niche channel, I expected that to potentially happen, and I'm perfectly fine with it. But, you know, revenues for YouTube went up a little bit, and that's always helpful considering my situation. But it is starting to come back down, but I think that's more tied with Cyberpunk, and the release of that game has kind of made YouTube rebalance its algorithms. But as long as I'm off the blacklist itself, it'll eventually come back. I would give it probably a month or two for it to go. But the important thing, though, was the revenues for certain ads went back to, you know, stuff that when, how do I explain this? When you're blacklisted, you're screwed, and things get really screwy for you. But when you're unblacklisted, things like revenues go up because they trust your channel again, and yada yada. And when I say blacklisted, for those of you that actually follow this terminology, it's YouTube's hidden mature rating on channels, and that's what's got removed. That's what I mean by when I say the channel got unblacklisted. but it was both Lance Corporal Liru and Liru Shenanigans that did that. And with I'm more excited for Shenanigans because Shenanigans is one of those types of channels that YouTube looks for to really promote. So I'm thinking another 6 months to a year of that. That channel might shoot up similar to how Northern's done, but only time will tell. And that channel is really unique in how things work in that regard. But let me see on my talking points here. Basically, just gonna keep going with the channel full time. I'm gonna explain the schedule for how ops are gonna go, where I'm gonna try to divide my time, and talk about some of the new projects coming out, which I will be dedicating everything to. And I think it's a lot of content that you guys will really like. So, with all that being said, just to explain the operation schedule for how we're gonna go. We're going to start with Sunday. Sunday at noon, we'll get back into doing public ops. I've got a new Altis campaign with players as FIA getting into development, and the Saturday beforehand at about 5 or 6 p.m., I'll shoot out another video to start advertising that again to see if we can, get back to the 40, 50, 60 person player bases on those ops to have those large scale ops. And if that does well with the FIA stuff, I might do another syndicate campaign, or I might do something different entirely, maybe like a full-on U.S. NATO versus CSAT, some custom assets. We'll see how things go in that regard. But that is from 12 to about 2, 2:15, 2:30 to 4. We're going to continue with the T3 ops, where we also invite the vets and we really stress their tactics. A lot of remote controlling, a lot of shooting players intentionally trying to down them just to put them under that super stressful situation to make them better players. And I know not everyone that plays that likes that stuff, but that's what I'm going to have to go with here. Oh gosh, the footage. That's actually not the footage lagging. That's literally the game desyncing. I remember that. There were some crazy lag spikes there. The full VOD is on the VOD channel, by the way. But back on topic. Mondays, we're going to do 2 ops. And we're going back to what I had for a few months where it was exotic stuff. So, for example, this coming Monday is going to be a 2-hour op continuing the Fapovo campaign, which Op2 would have uploaded a few hours ago. And then we're doing the Emu War, except I don't have emus. I have something else, which is similar to... Wow, that guy just got blown away. Similar to what an emu would be. We're just going back a few million years, give or take, but that's all right. So basically, exotic means, crazy, interesting ops, which take a lot of time to test, but, we'll be able to have a lot of fun with. I actually have a sticky note here with a lot of stuff written down. I just got to find it in my pile. I gotta clean this room. I haven't in literally a year, but it's about time. So, Vampire Hunting Ops 343 Guilty Spark version 2 with some additional stuff taken from both player feedback and other things I want to do with it. It's just in testing. It was an absolute pain in the ass to get the flood to work. I have Emu War written down. More Titan Ops from 40K, a Hive City Op, Half-Life, Terminator, Stargate, another Mech Op, possibly another Warhammer 40K versus Furries Op. And then I have some other ideas written down here, which I'm not going to share just yet because I have to test things out before I, publicly announce things. So, if you ever have any crazy exotic op ideas or you want me to tackle a certain type of mod set, feel free to ask me on Discord. I would love to add it to that list to have an idea front log for that. That way, when I, get into a little what I like to call writer's block for developing operations, I can just look at that list and go, all right, let's do, I feel like Terminators. Let's go hold John Connor, Apaches, A-10s. Let's go for it. So, stuff like that. But that'll be for Mondays, and then it'll either be the 2-hour slot or the 1-hour slot where we'll have the quote-unquote exotic op, but then I'll, have something else for it as well. Now, Tuesdays, we will continue with House Aiden, the Mandalorian campaign contracting stuff. That'll last us about 5 or 6 months because we still have 4 or 5 planets left. We're going to have a super stream this Tuesday where we do like a 4-hour contracting thing. I'll divide it in 2 parts for YouTube. But that's to make up for last week. We couldn't run it on because mods updated and broke INIDB2's framework, so I had to spend some time fixing that. Wednesdays will, as always, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard will be 506 stuff. Bi-weekly, we're doing the Banganon incident, which 506 when I Zeus, it's generally really cinematic in the sense of I do a lot of prep work on everything because it's really hard to make a proper experience for them because their medical is very easy compared to other groups. So I try to focus on other areas, and they seem to like it, as long as it doesn't mess with Drumheller, aka Jester 814's immersion, which I always find funny. I also got to start getting Sergeant Fluffers back in ops, but now that I'll have the time to, I can focus on small Easter eggs like that. But that, again, I co-Zeus bi-weekly for that group. The other weeks, it's Cherry, who is a member of the 506 at Zeus's. Always love his stuff. He's doing nom stuff right now. As long as I don't choke and I bring the right guns that aren't utter dog shit in the Unsun mod set. We've got that going, and then bi-weekly Wednesdays 6:30 to 8:30 I will also be doing some Zeusing for TSB. And I've got a few campaigns lined up. We have a mod set update for the main mod set coming out in 2021, like first day of January. And I've got a cool campaign lined up for that. So we'll see how things go with that regard. But Thursdays, we have OFCRA at 3 o'clock. Again, the the lawn haul 2-hour one life PvP events with a lot of vehicle use and static use. I know some people like that, but we have to put it on a 5-minute delay. That's from about 3 to 5:30. Paw Patrol, the other PMC group, we have to finish up our campaign today, and then we'll be doing another campaign. I put a bunch of polls down for what they want to do, but they like it to be easygoing because they can't get insta killed in their stuff, and I can overextend my AI a little bit to mess with them. But we're gonna keep continuing small scale, like 6 to 8 mission style campaigns for them. And then at the end of every op, if they completed the objectives fully, they're allowed to get one new thing in their arsenal or one new vehicle. As long as a PMC has access to it. So something fun for them to do. And then we'll always try to play the TMTM op at 10 p.m. on Thursdays and stream that, because those are a really good source of A, just relaxing, B, having fun, even though Twitch's TOS updated and that might impede on it. But and then the next thing is it's also a really good source of footage for the Shenanigans channel. We'll talk about that later. Fridays will continue to be Friday Night Fights, EU branch at 3 o'clock, and NA branch at 8 o'clock. However, once in a blue moon, maybe once a month, maybe longer, I will sub out the first round of NA for something else. If some of you were here 2 weeks ago on that Friday, we tried to do an SCP Overlord op, which fell through. That's actually been fixed, and we are going to run it tomorrow. In place of the first branch of Friday Night Fights. So if you want to see like an actual ARMA representation of the op, that would be the place to go. That's going to be around 8:30 p.m. EST. I'm accounting for some time for setting up, but that should be pretty interesting nonetheless. Saturdays, generally my off day I spend with Bloodwing. However, I would expect 700th ops to start coming back for, let me think, I would say once every 2 to 3 weeks at 8 p.m. EST. And I do know we do have a Pay for Pain coming up this weekend. There will be I'll make a small video about the menu for Pay for Pain. I got some custom demon units. I got some Space Marine loadouts, whole 9 yards. I don't have any custom compositions though, because their headless clients completely murder the attach commands for it, so I can't do that. But there's other crazy little things that I can do. And there will also be, like, if you want me to mess with a certain person, I will offer that, because it's 700 that allows me to do that. But the money for Pay for Pain, some of it goes to me, some of it goes to the community itself, and that's how they help pay for servers, because the 700 servers have some really serious framework to have, their 80, 90 person operations every Saturday. And then we're back to Sunday. So that's, again, all of the planned stuff. I do also intend on spending some time on the ground between Monday and Wednesday to, play TSB on the ground stuff. Maybe on Saturdays, too, if, my plans fall through. But, I like to have the official schedule, and then there's always more. And that's just for ARMA. I do plan on spending the next month or two kind of getting through all of my ARMA things, such as my footage backlog from like literally 2 years ago, and getting out things like the Arstotska campaign we never fully got out. There's a lot of unpublished stuff in there that I want to start, bringing out. Once I finish that, I might focus on other games like maybe some Cyberpunk, but I want to get back into some Phasma. I want to get into Among Us again. There's a lot of few things that there's a lot of things that I want to get into, but I have to be very strategic with my time. Now that I do have it, but there's also a lot of shelved projects, excuse me, that I want to unshelve. One of them we already discussed, the Monday exotic stuff. But speaking of those, the projects that are coming off the shelf right now, other than this monthly video and the Monday exotic stuff, is Project 10. I have a community to run it for. I told them probably late December, early January, we would start working on things. What's going to happen first with them is we're going to run a medium-sized campaign to kind of see where the community's at, and then as that happens, I will rebuild Project 10 and base it based off of what the players like and dislike, because you never want to just start with an exotic campaign because you have no idea how the players are going to react to it. You got to get a little bit of a feel for them to make sure you balance things for them accordingly. So it's also going to be NCR themed this time because they are an NCR group, New California Republic. And the other project we're coming out with is some Friday Night Fight stuff, some commercial style videos that I got from Task Force 121, at least the idea. I'll be making them myself. And also a Saturday Night Live style intro, which I will have KJ work on after he finishes another thing for me. Again, I'm just trying to juggle everything in the air right now so that when he's done with that, then I can work on that, because I'm working on a few other things to play catch up with the time I lost doing crunch periods for finals and whatnot. So I think that's it. Oh, right, and then what's going to be posted on the 3 channels. So first and foremost, Liru's VODs, I'm going to do my best to make sure videos appear on that channel within 48 hours of uploading. The one exception could potentially be Friday Night Fights, because YouTube really likes to have an aneurysm when I put 25 to 30 gigs of footage of a video up on YouTube. They're processing how they like after you upload, it spends time quote unquote processing. They really like to take their time on those videos. So that one might be a few more than 48 hours, up to 72, but definitely not past 72 unless they butcher something. Sometimes when YouTube does processing, they glitch out and it stays on processing forever, so you have to re-upload it. But yeah, that's for the VODs channel. I will do my best to make sure that commitment is kept. And then as we redevelop the video front log, you'll start seeing a few days to a week of videos go on the VOD channel before they are released on the main channel, if they're even released on the main channel. YouTube, Liru Shenanigans. I did get a lot of complaints from a video a few weeks ago about how it was really just taken from the main channel as a highlight and just added a bunch of subtitles and edits to it. I do apologize for that. That was a miscommunication between me and my editor, and we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Originally, that channel was supposed to be just a mashup of a bunch of different highlights and whatnot, just edited up, but all of it from the same source. It did really feel like it was just a re-upload of something, and yeah, I bapped my editor for that one. But I'm also working on the latest video that was released, and another 2 videos that are being worked on right now are actually content that they have content that, or if no, they're actually, how do I put it? None of it was released on the main channel, but it was released on the VODs channel, because everything goes to the VODs channel eventually. So the latest one, the 40K one, none of that was ever released to the main channel, but it was fully, like, that was exclusively released on Shenanigans. And again, there's other videos I have which are gonna follow the same thing. It's not gonna be every video, but I am gonna try to work on making sure that we have some new stuff in there, because otherwise some people have been watching everything religiously on the main channel, would recognize all of the content that would get bland for them. So I am trying to cater to that. The issue that was preventing me from do that before, which I can do now, is or at least bypass the issue now, is because I have the time to work on that type of stuff, collect that type of content, because I don't have to focus on college anymore. So, like I said, a lot of doors open with college being done with. So we'll continue on that. Release schedule will still be once every 2 weeks. However, I have two new editors working on things, and we might be able to push it to once every 10 days. That way, instead of 2 videos a month, it'll be stretched to three, unless we have a month where it's just 28 days, and then, things adjust like that. But we could see a little bit more content come into that channel. The thing is, with the editors, I directly pay them what the Shenanigans channel makes. So the revenue fluctuates, but again, with the Shenanigans channel getting unblacklisted, we had a big spike in revenue, and it's maintained now. So we just have to keep that going, essentially. But I do want to try to make that channel a little more popular. So we might also see some plugs from the main channel go up on that. And then, of course, the main channel will continue to be releasing 3 videos a day. At least I'll do my best to. It'll be a highlight in the morning, a Zeus video in the afternoon, and close to the evening, a PvP video from Friday Night Fights or OFCRA. Now, a lot of stuff is not going to happen next week because of Christmas. My Wednesday is canceled because it's my anniversary, and I'm in charge of it this year because I alternate with Bloodwing. And she, as always, tells me if I try to do anything armor related on her anniversary, I will be single. So there won't be the Wednesday stuff. Thursday won't be anything because there's Christmas Eve. I might sneak something in though, like early in the morning, either playing on the ground or Zeusing something, but definitely nothing on the night. And then Christmas Day, there will be nothing, maybe something TSB in the evening, but I know Friday Night Fights canceled. And then Saturday, there's no 700 Cadian ops, so we might do something on TSB that day. But then the schedule should resume on Tuesday. But the issue, especially with losing Friday Night Fights, and also there's no OFCRA on Tuesday, so there's going to be a week of no PvP videos. And those make up the third upload. So we might have a stream of anywhere from 5 to 7 days where we just do 2 uploads a day. Unless I have some other stuff to release. Speaking of, I almost forgot to mention the final project we're getting back into, which this is a priority for me getting unshelved. I feel like an idiot because I forgot to mention it. Zeus Encyclopedia related stuff. If you liked the video such as the Golden Rule for Zeusing, I have a lot more coming out. And to plug Patreon real quick, those scripts are going to go through Patreon first. And Patreon's gonna serve as kind of my database for everything I've written down to kind of help make those videos, and maybe a little bit more. But I also do know I would feel a bit more comfortable if I brought Patreon back up to what it was a few months ago. Just revenue-wise, because everything's still up in the air, and I still have to decide how I want to proceed with the main channel on YouTube. If the Shenanigans channel still doesn't go anywhere. And then when COVID all ends, we'll see how things go, and I'll see if I need to try to get that other job back. But yeah, overall status is everything is up in the air right now. We have a lot of new free time. A lot more free time now to push a lot of projects, and we have a lot of things coming out. And I hope you enjoy it. But everything that's done, how do I put this? Where I live right now and what the channels do and what they make from Twitch, YouTube, Patreon, and some other sources, it's not ideal to live off of. So that's what the job I had lined up was going to help cover. But now that that's fallen through, I've got no choice here but to push this all. But now I got to find out how to basically make another 1,000-ish a month, but I'll figure it out. I'm not in any immediate danger either right now of anything. It's just I'm trying to think long term, but with COVID, it's hard to do that, and I don't even know what's going to happen. And maybe I'll get the job back after COVID ends, but I've also been told that's unlikely. So we'll see. I'll figure something out. I always do. But otherwise, that should be it for this channel. And I kept it under 30 minutes. Cool. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm not going to put ads on this except at the end of the outro. Feel free to ask in the comment section. I will spend the time to answer them. And otherwise, yeah. So this video, I got to upload something else and get it out at about like 1:32ish. I'll try to get this one out about 4. And then that way, after OFCRA ends today, I will have a good hour and a half to 2 hours of time where I'll answer questions from you guys on this video, and to clarify anything, because I've never done one of these before, and I'm not going to be perfect on it. But hey, at least we have this new mic set up, so my voice sounds a bit cleaner, even though I sound a bit nasally and dumb in my opinion. But we'll make things work. Anyway, that is all I have for this one, guys. So thank you so much for listening, if indeed you still are. Go operate operationally. I hope you enjoy all of the new content coming out. We'll really start to see it. I mean, we have already with some of the ops, such as 343 Guilty Spark and the World War II with lightsabers and laser guns. That was pretty funny. But yeah, hope you keep enjoying everything, and I will see you next month. Unless you're on Patreon, in which case I release these every week.